Up, everybody? Wait, hold on. Am I recording? Okay. What's up, everybody? I just wanted to say first off, sorry I have not been uploading. Right? I've been lacking a little bit. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Uh, but we back. We back at it, right? And I just wanted to say something real quick, right? I know this is completely off topic from the video, but I was looking through my YouTube feed, right? Like the homepage, right? And I saw that the Lego movie is free to watch with ads, right? But I have YouTube Premium, so it would just be free. Um, do you think they should make a third movie? Because it would make sense if they did. Because uh, the second one was called the Lego Movie 2: The Second Part, so it would just make sense for them to make a third one called the Lego Movie 3: The Third Part, or the final part, if it's gonna be called the final movie. If it's gonna be the final movie, you know what I'm saying? That's just something to think about. I don't know. I think they should make a third one because the first two were good. The third one could be even better. You never know. And it just wouldn't make sense to end it off on the second part. Like, that doesn't really make any sense to me. But we back. 3 true chat room horror stories. Uh, One thing I do like about Nighttime Spooks, though, is that he doesn't really cuss in his videos. I like that. So, here we go. Almost forgot my headphones, right? Alright. So that I can actually hear the stuff. I am hot right now. It is hot. I want to put the fan on me. I have, like, 2 fans right here. I want to put the fan on me. But, like, I don't want, like, it to be on the mic. Even though the mic's, like, right here. But I don't want it to y'all to hear it. I want y'all to be able to hear the video and me talking. So, you know what? Whatever. I'm gonna just be hot. Whatever. Alright, let's go. 3 true chat room horror stories. I've never been in the chat room before. I don't think.
This is something that happened back during my freshman year of high school.
Right.
It was early in the school year, and I was 14 years old. During this time, I had just recently gotten my first cell phone, which was an iPhone. I'd gotten a lot of apps, such as Snapchat and all the other popular ones.
Right.
I was fairly new to the school district that I was in as well, and had just moved to the city during middle school. Every day, I would get up and ride the bus to and from school. One day, I got home from school just like any other. My parents were still at work, so I was at home by myself. I was added by a person on Snapchat who I did not know. I don't even remember what exactly their username was. I think the name was Joe or John something, and then
Okay, so I have Snapchat, right? And if someone random adds me, I usually just click on their profile, and if their profile seems sus, then I don't add you back. If you have like a sus looking profile, sus bitmoji and all that, I don't really add you back. But if you seem normal, I might add you back. It's still 50-50, but I might add you back. It just depends how I'm feeling that day. You know what I'm saying? But try not to add people back that you don't know, because you never know. People are crazy in this world. You never know. They can hack your stuff, and I don't know. You never know. But
a
yeah.
few numbers. This was back in 2013, so Snapchat was still fairly new, and I was also very new to it.
Okay.
I added this person back and thought that maybe it was a guy who went to my school. The school was large and there were tons of people who I didn't really know yet. So not long after adding this guy back, he sent me a snap. I remember that he did not show his face, and it was either a black screen or close to it. There were words on it though, and he said hi, and then I said hi back to him. Then he asked me if I had a Kick. I did, and I gave him my username.
Who uses Kick? I have never used Kick before. But he did say this was back in 2013. But still, I didn't use Kick back in 2013. Who, like, what? I never understood Kick. I never tried it. Never downloaded it ever. I don't even know what Kick? Okay.
And then he added me there a short time after. If anybody doesn't know, Kick was an instant messaging app for chatting.
Oh.
You could send messages as well as pictures, and I think go into chat rooms as well.
Oh.
I believe
That's how the chat room starts. Okay, let's continue. Let's go.
the app is still around, but it was a lot more popular back then.
Right.
Also during this time, Snapchat did not have a chat feature. You could only send pictures, and they would also go by pretty fast.
What? So Snapchat used to not have a chat feature? I'm pausing way too much. But like, what? I thought Snapchat It's called Snapchat, not Snap. And I hate when I'm messaging somebody. Oh, my PC. Oh my, that scared the crap out of me. My PC just started blowing air for no reason. It scared the living heck out of me. I got goosebumps. That's how bad it scared me. But what was I saying? It's called Snapchat, not Snap or chat. I hate when I'm texting somebody on Snapchat and they're like, "Oh, send a snap, send snap," and they just want to send snaps back and forth over and over. I'm like, dude, it's called Snapchat. Like, they only want to respond with snaps. I'm like, dude, it's called Snapchat, not snap. Like, what are you doing? Like, dude, it's like, ow, I hit my hand. But I did not know Snapchat only had snaps back then. I thought it always had the chat feature. That's bizarre to me. I never knew that.
And that's another reason why apps like Kik were popular.
Right.
After adding each other on Kik, the guy started messaging me there. At first, it was just a really casual conversation. I remember that I was curious as to who he was exactly. Looking back, I wish I had never talked to him. But I didn't really have that many friends at the time, and it was nice to talk to somebody. However, I was under the impression that it was a guy around my age maybe. So we were just having
That's some like 60-year-old man, bro. What you talking about?
a very basic conversation. It was just like, "What's up? Not much, how about you?" Just hanging out. I remember that he asked me who was at my house, and I said that I was alone. That's when this guy said that he was going to come over.
No, you're
I
not.
thought that it was a joke. I had no idea who this guy was still, and obviously he wouldn't know where I lived. I don't remember what exactly I said back, but I didn't hear from him for a while. Never did I ever think that he would actually come to my house though.
Oh, he come.
I was just in my room doing homework and half watching YouTube videos on my phone. After maybe 20 or 30 minutes, there was this knock at the front door. I had no idea who it could be, but I didn't bother to get up from my desk or leave my room because I thought that it was just a door-to-door salesman or something. I had no interest of answering the door to that. But then I saw that the guy sent me another message on Kik.
I'm here.
He said that he was at my house.
Yeah,
I really couldn't believe it. But then he sent me a picture of my front door. I was really freaked out when I saw it. He told me to come to the door. I really didn't know what to say. Finally, I took my phone and I wrote back. I said, "Who even are you?" The guy didn't answer right away. I got up from my desk and walked to the doorway of my room. This led out into the hallway, and then the living room was off of that. I carefully left my room and went out into the hallway.
By the way, that's a nice looking house. It's just a little bit too small for my liking. Just a little bit. But it looks nice.
Then, once there, I crept to the corner and looked into the living room. I could see out of the front window from there. The front step was partially obstructed, but I did see a man standing there. He was not a high school student. It was a grown man, probably in his 40s.
I knew it.
He was kind of short, a little bit bigger, and balding.
Right.
I had never seen him before in my life.
Me either.
He was looking around, and then I heard him knock on the door. I stayed where I was. I was really creeped out now and didn't know what to do. The guy stayed there and then actually tried opening the door before knocking on it.
Just call the police.
I stayed where I was and I didn't move. After a few minutes, I saw him on his phone and then he turned and he walked off. But he wasn't leaving. He was just going around to the back door.
Wait, is Chatroom like a video thing where you showing each other's face? I thought that's what it was. But they didn't do no Chatroom, did they? They used Kik, but they only like texted, right? Or can Chatroom be like just chatting, like with texting? I don't know.
He walked around and within a couple of minutes, I heard a knocking coming from the back door to the house.
So you just called
Then he tried opening that door. I looked to my phone and it was blowing up with notifications.
I hate that.
I went over and looked at them. The man kept asking me to let him in and to open the door. Instead, I decided to call the police. I took my phone, closed my bedroom doors, and then went under my bed and called 911.
Took way too long.
I told them that somebody was trying to get into the house and would not leave.
Right.
I was told that the police would be on the way and they would arrive within a few minutes. While I was waiting, I tried not to pay attention to the man knocking on the doors. I just hoped that he would go away soon. After probably 5 to 10 minutes, I stopped hearing the knocking at the doors. When the police got there, I finally left my room again. Unfortunately, the man was gone. When I looked back to Kik, he had sent me a few more messages cursing at me, I showed everything to the police. They said they would look into it, and if the man came back, to call them again. My parents got informed as well, and they were back home a short time later. Luckily, after that, I never saw the guy again. I'm still not sure how he knew where I lived or even who I was. The only thing that I can think of is that he must have seen me either getting on the bus for school or after school. It still creeps me out to think back to it.
Okay, two things. One, people are crazy in this world. Two, how did he know where you lived? People are weird, bro. What is wrong with people? People in this world just, something wrong with y'all.
Back in the day, I used to go on Omegle from time to time.
I remember the Omegle days, bro. I remember these days, bro. I used to use puppets on Omegle and just have fun with people. Pause. I used to just make people laugh with them. It was so fun for no reason. And then it went down, so I stopped. Like, Omegle went down. They took it down, so I stopped. But that was fun. It was funny, too. Bro, I was dying, bro. I even broke character at times, bro. It was hilarious. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, I remember the times. But I can already see where this story is heading.
Omegle recently shut down.
Right.
And when I heard about it, I was reminded of my own crazy experience. If anybody doesn't know, Omegle was a video chat website.
Right.
You would use a webcam and would be randomly paired with a stranger. You could chat live on video, or you could just chat by typing as well.
Right.
And you could skip the person whenever you wanted, and then it would find somebody else. From time to time back when I was in high school and was bored, I would go on there. One time, I was just hanging out in my bedroom. As it got later at night,
It's that same bedroom pic from, like, a video, from one of my other reaction videos to his videos. It's the same bedroom. Same exact one.
and I was not tired, I just randomly decided to go on Omegle.
Right.
When I first got on, I don't remember the exact people that I saw, but it was pretty typical. Most of them, either I skipped or they skipped me within the first 10 seconds.
Oh, speaking of Omegle, there's this on the game Rec Room, right? There's this rec video chat thing. It's very similar to Omegle, but it'll take you to like a random person. It's similar to this. It's pretty cool. If you play Rec Room, definitely check it out. It's called Rec Video Chat. It's basically Omegle, but just Rec Room, the Rec Room version. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool.
Then, about 5 minutes in, I was paired with this one guy. Right away, he looked really strange and also creepy,
Right.
which caused me to not skip him just because it was fascinating.
I would have skipped him.
The guy was in a mostly dark room, and his eyes were very wide. He had a very strange hairstyle as well, and he was just staring at the screen very intensely. I figured he was just messing around trying to look as creepy as he could as a joke. It certainly worked. After he just stared at me on the screen for a while though, I finally said hi. The guy asked who I was, and I just said my first name. He definitely seemed off, and it was really weird. He remained staring at me the entire time, and he spoke in a very monotone way. I thought about skipping him, but I was also interested to see what else he would say. I asked him his name, but he did not tell me. He just asked me where I lived, but I didn't tell him that.
Good.
Then he just stared at the screen and didn't take his eyes off me for a really long time. I asked him a couple of questions, but he completely ignored them.
Of course you did.
So at that point,
Just skip
I
him.
finally decided to skip him.
Thank you.
He was just a little bit too weird.
Just should have skipped.
I matched up with some other random person. Then it was more of the same, mostly skipping or getting skipped pretty early on.
I hate it on Omegle when people would just skip me for no reason. I'd be like, hey, how you doing? And then they would skip me. Like, what? Oh my goodness, people are just like, you didn't even give me a chance to say hi. Like, what you doing? Like, I give you a chance to say hi. But, like, bro, ooh, I've had some weird experiences on that app, on that website. Oh my goodness.
I had a few short conversations with people that weren't bad. About 15 minutes later, though, I was paired with the one creepy guy again. It's extremely rare to see the same person twice on Omegle.
It was rare, but it happened to me before. It happened a few times before. So it's not impossible, but it happens.
Or at least it had been in my experience. When I saw him again, I didn't skip him because I was shocked that he was there. He was doing the same thing of just staring at me and not really moving much. I tried talking to him again, but he didn't answer me. So then I skipped him again. About 5 minutes later, though, I saw him yet again. I was really creeped out now. I asked him why I kept seeing him. He finally spoke, just saying my name. I had forgotten that I told him earlier in the moment, so I got really freaked out. Then the guy said that I could not get away from him. I was so spooked at that point that I closed out of Omegle altogether. I went on Facebook or something for
Watch him show up at your house somehow. Watch.
a few minutes after that. But after a while longer, I wasn't really scared anymore.
Or watch him get your number somehow.
So I went back onto Omegle.
Why'd you get back on? Bro.
When I got there, I matched with some random guy and I quickly skipped him.
Why?
Then, for yet another time, I was matched with the creepy guy. He looked exactly the same. He was still staring intensely right at me. When he saw me, he said my name again, and he said that I would not get away from him. Then he just started staring at me. I lost it, and I quickly closed Omegle again. Then I turned off my computer altogether and unplugged it from the wall.
There you go.
I sat there trying to figure out what on earth had just happened and how I kept matching with this guy. I was afraid that he had somehow hacked my computer or something. After a little while, though, I soon plugged the computer back in and turned it on. However, I did not go back on Omegle, and I never went on Omegle again. I still wonder about that sometimes. It would say on Omegle how many people were currently online, and it was always like in the thousands, so I just can't believe that I kept matching with this one guy. I'm glad that I never saw him again.
Yeah, Omegle was weird, because it would have like a whole bunch of people on, but you keep matching with the same person. I was like, what?
This story happened way back in the day. I was about 12 years old or so, and I remember that I used to sometimes go on the computer. This was the early 2000s, and we had a desktop in the corner of the living room. Mostly I would play games on it, but I would also go on the internet and play games or go on websites for kids or teens. One time when I was at a friend's house, she showed me a chat room where she would talk with random people. We had a fun time just messing around and talking to people, making jokes and stuff. So one time when I was at home, I was bored later at night and I went into a chat room. I don't even remember exactly what.
You had to go to a chat room? You couldn't have gone to like YouTube or played a video game or something? What? Or called one of your friends? Well, I don't know if you had a phone back then, but you get what I'm saying.
What the website was, but I entered the chat room and I started talking with random people. Nobody in the chat room could see anybody else. I remember that I started talking with this one person. I don't remember everything in the conversation that was said because it was so long ago, but I'm pretty sure that there was just some basic talk in the beginning. Then I remember that the person asked me where I lived. I told the person the state and city that I lived in.
Why? Why did you tell them that? What is wrong with you? Are you okay in the head? Oh my goodness, why? I get it, you're 12. You're like 12 years old, but like still, have some common sense. Like, what you doing? You telling people where you live, like what?
The person asked me where in the city.
If you tell them where exactly in the city and they come to your house, that's your fault. This story is on you.
I didn't give out the exact address,
Good.
but I gave a little bit more specific detail.
Why?
I know this sounds really stupid,
It is.
but this was a long time ago.
It is stupid.
There was no
I don't care how
social media back then, and I was also very young.
I don't care how young you were, and I don't care that this was like back in the day. Whatever. What did he say? Oh no, something. But I don't care. Don't tell random people where you live, like what state. You could say the state if you are like, I don't know. If y'all are just talking, hanging out, you know, you can tell them the state where you live. But don't tell them the city. Don't tell them your address. Don't tell them nothing, bro. Because they're gonna come to your house. Watch.
I didn't really think that it was that bad or that anything would happen. We talked a little longer, but this person started to ask me some weird questions.
Like what?
At that point, I decided to leave. I was feeling kind of creeped out. I went off the website and then I started playing some games instead.
You should have been playing.
After a while of that, I got tired and I went to bed. The very next night, I found myself in a similar situation. It was later at night and I was still awake. My parents were asleep, so I was the only one that was still up. I remember that I went onto the computer again. I did not go to a chat room though. I was on some website where you can play mini games and stuff.
Good.
Out of nowhere, I remember I heard the sound like somebody was walking up to the front door.
Yeah.
The door happened to be just a few feet away from the computer where I was. I looked over, but you couldn't really see anything out of the small window at the top of the door. Instantly, I was a little bit scared. I knew that it was really late at night, and probably nobody should be at our door at this hour. I was expecting somebody to knock on the door, but they didn't. I just sat there and listened, but heard nothing more. After probably about a minute, I decided to get up and look. I walked out
I'm gonna just say sorry about what just happened. I don't know why that keeps popping up. I don't know. We almost done anyway, so.
into the living room and carefully went over to the window. Then I moved the window shade and looked out. When I did, I saw that there was this random man standing on the front step. I did not know who he was or why he was at our house. I moved away from the window in case he would have somehow looked over and seen me. I went back over to the computer. That's when the man tried opening the door, which was thankfully locked. After a few minutes, there was a light knocking at the door. It was very quiet. This was really strange. It was almost like he knew that I was near the door or right on the other side. He only knocked that one time though. Then things were silent for a while. After probably like 5 minutes, I went back to the window and I looked again. When I did, the man was gone. I was wondering still who this guy was and why he was there. Shortly after, I remembered the guy from the chat room.
Where are your parents at? Did I miss it? I don't think he said where his parents were. Where your parents at, bro? What you doing?
And how he had asked me where I lived. Could this have been him? I decided to go back to the website. I logged back in and looked at the conversation that we had. I noticed that after I had left the conversation, he sent me a message saying, "I'm going to come to your house."
See?
That was the last thing that was said in the chat. I quickly logged back out, and I was too scared to go back there. After that night, the guy thankfully never returned. I don't know how he found me, but it really gives me the creeps to think about it.
So, obviously, the last story, that was completely on you. That was your fault. That was all you. That whole story could have been avoided if you weren't being an idiot. I get it, you're 12, you're not that smart, but still, you don't have to be an idiot. But there are some smart 12-year-olds out there. But yeah. But yeah, Ouija board stories. Heck no. Oh no. Okay. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna upload some more. I'm gonna start making more videos. Sometime in the future. We'll see. But bro, his face. But yeah. I don't know if I'm uploading tomorrow or the next day. But we'll see. But I'll see you guys later. Alright?